Hi everybody, I'm Cassandra from Craft to Believe After, and welcome to another video. And now friends, today I've got a ton of things to show you, to chat about. It's going to be a long video. Now my videos are not very short ever as it is, so this one I think is going to be a teeny tiny bit longer than my usual. So just sit back, relax, get a cup of coffee, get a cup of tea, grab a project. We're gonna have a chat. All right, I don't even know where to start with. There's just so many things that's been happening. I've loved being on leave the last 2 weeks. Today is actually my last day of leave. I'm going back to work tomorrow. It's been a fantastic 2 weeks. We didn't do a whole lot, to be honest, which is my favorite type of vacation. I love being at home. So I got to do a ton of crochet, and it was just like my brain was on overdrive. I couldn't work fast enough to get everything done that just popped into my head. It was mad. I cannot tell you, I've been having such a wonderful couple of weeks, and I'm going to share all my projects with you. Let's kick off with a book that I recently bought. And you would have seen this book around. It's fairly new. And I've wanted this book since it popped up. And I'm glad I finally received it. It's this one. Amigurumi Friends by Jade. You will know her from her channel and her Instagram, all from Jade, a very, very popular designer. And this book, especially if you are a beginner amigurumi maker, I highly, highly recommend this book. What's nice about this book, apart from the fact that there's a ton of projects that you can do, it does give you various options of body styles, arm styles, leg styles, and I think this is becoming more and more popular with crochet designers. So we've seen it especially in the Megan Lap books, where she has some basic body types and you can choose and put them together as you like. This book works sort of in the same way. So there's a basic head style. So the head for everyone is the same. So it's just a little ball. So it doesn't matter which animal you choose, you are going to use the basic head style. Then from there it changes to a standing body pose. Now I can't show you too much because the pattern is on the page, but you've got a basic standing body pose. It's actually got two standing body pose. So it's standing body pose 1. Then you've got standing body pose 2. So this one is a bit easier. So the previous one I showed you has a bit of foot shaping. This one is just a very, very easy beginner friendly one. Then we've got body number 3, sitting pose. There you have it. Then we've got body sitting pose number 2. Now this one is going to be nearly impossible for me to show. But I think you can get the idea there. Then we've got, what else is here? Body pose number 5, which is the sleeping pose. Oh, okay, get it on. It's like a little sleeping pose. I think that's it. Was this the last one? That's it. So 5 different body types to choose from. And of course I had to try one of the patterns. I did the little bear, Ben the bear. I did this one, but I didn't do this body shape. So this is, I think, body shape number 1. It's got a little foot shaping. I went for the plainer body shape, and this is how mine turned out. Really, really cute pattern. So as you can see, a little ball for the head, the body, the legs. It was really easy to make. Little tail. It was such a quick pattern. I made this using the Hobby Toucan Fine, which is a number 4 weight chenille yarn. I really like working with it. I only have 3 colors in it, but I thought this would be perfect for the bear. Really, really enjoyed it. So if you're a beginner crocheter, or not even a beginner crochet, even if you crochet but you like sort of branching out into amigurumi, this is a wonderful, wonderful book, because you can make all of these characters in any body pose that you want, which I think is fantastic. So you can have this bear head, but have him in 5 different body shapes, which is amazing. So I think this book is fantastic. I really enjoyed. The patterns are easily written. I mean, I think many of you have made an All From Jade pattern in the past. It's wonderful patterns, really well written. I found it, well, I'm a bit more of an advanced crocheter, but I found the instructions very easy, and I can see that it would be brilliant for beginner amigurumi makers. Fantastic book. Highly recommend, just for the sheer amount of patterns that you will be able to make from this book. So this was make number 1 for this week. Really enjoyed it. Now with this toucan fine, I use a 3mm crochet hook. It's a very nice yarn to work with. I really enjoy it. So I probably will end up buying a few more colors. Next, a while ago, I saw on a video of Ali from Little Drops of Wonderful. She had this whole video where she went to Lay Family Yarns. She dyed her own yarn, so she decided on a yarn color, like she was dyeing her perfect color of yarn. She had a video about it. Then after that, she brought out a video to say that she's having this crochet along. I think it's called Wonderland Walk Along. Wonderland Walk Along, Wonderland Make Along. I will put it on the screen. But basically, whoever's interested, you can buy this specific color of yarn that she sort of created. And then she's got to make along based on using this yarn. And when I saw it, now I'm not really a fancy yarn gal. I buy cotton yarns from hobby. That's it. I very rarely buy anything that comes in a hank, because that big thing of yarn and you've got to wind it, it freaks me out. Anything that is in a hank is just too fancy for my everyday use. It's just not yarns that I normally buy. But I love Ali's channel. I know a lot of you also watch Little Drops of Wonderful, and I had to have it. It was so strange. So when she showed it, and I'll show you what I've got left. So I did in the end, when the hank got here, I like spread it over my knees. I hand wound it first into a ball. Then I do have a yarn winder. I yarned it up into a cake so that I could start using the yarn from the middle, and it was fantastic to work with. It is a 75% super wash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, 225 meters. The name of the yarn, as it was chosen by Ali, is Wonderland Walk, and I chose the DK. So I think you can get it in a fingering or a sock weight. You can get it in the DK. You can get it in something else, I'm not sure. But I will link this shop down below. They are in the UK. So I got this shipped from the UK. But just look at this fantastic green. So that's the name of the yarn shop, or the dyers, Lay Family Yarn. This is what it has on their little, description. So this is what I've got left of my little cake of yarn. It's now a little smaller. And I think the rule for the make along is you can make anything. You can make anything you want using this specific yarn, as long as I think at least 60% of your project must contain this yarn, 60 or 75%, but a fair amount of your project. So obviously people do socks and shawls, and I think Ali is doing a cardigan. But I mean, you can head over to there's a Ravelry thread that you can do the hashtag on Instagram. So I will pop all of the details. Well, I'll pop Ellie's channel down below so you can have a look at all the details. But I was just so excited to try some fancy yarn for once. Of course, I'm an amigurumi maker. I was going to make an amigurumi, and a few weeks ago I saw on an Instagram page or an Instagram account that I follow, Nadine over at Yay Crochet ZA. She's in South Africa. She made the alligator or the caiman, Renee the caiman from the Beekeeper books. She made it in a wonderful green merino yarn. I loved the tones of her alligator. I mean, I've made the alligator fairly recently as well, but I just have my normal cottons that I make it in. And after I saw Nadine's alligator, I thought I'm definitely going to use this fantastic green yarn and make Renee the caiman. So there you have it. It worked up beautifully. I mean, just look at how those colors just work up together, and it's just amazing. And I can understand why certain yarns are more expensive than others. I get it. It was such a fantastic experience. I used with this is a DK. It was a thinner DK. I used my 2.5mm hook on it, but it just worked up so beautifully. Now in the pattern, if you know the Beekeeper patterns, the pattern is actually written where the caiman has a little shirt, like a little striped shirt on it. But I was not gonna cover or like cut any of this yarn until my caiman was finished. I was not gonna mix any color in with it. I didn't have a proper nice sort of wool that I would have liked to make a shirt from, so I made the entire crocodile or caiman out of this yarn, and then I just gave him a cute little yellow contrasting scarf. This yellow is Sheepy's Stonewashed, which also has a slight fuzz. I really like the Sheepy Stonewashed, but I thought this yellow went really well with this fantastic green. I loved working with it so much. And then after I did this caiman, I had so much yarn left. I thought, well, I will do some or other wearable for a toy. So I will not do a wearable for a human. Anyway, I don't have nearly enough yarn. I was not going to buy any more yarn. And I'm not a wearable maker. I'm an amigurumi maker, and I have made peace with that fact. But I thought I could make a wearable for an amigurumi, no problemo. So I made, now this pattern, you guys, and I'm going to jump around a bit. This is actually my new Sammy the Swim Time Bear pattern. He is finally on Etsy and Ravelry, but I will chat about him just in a couple of minutes. But so this is Sammy the Swim Time Bear, but I made him in a different yarn, which is this Portobello from Hobby. This is a lovely, lovely yarn to work with. It is a 4-weight. It is, what is it? 60% cotton, 28% acrylic, 12% wool. It's a medium number 4. So Portobello, fantastic yarn actually for amigurumi. I'm sure it's a fantastic yarn for wearables, I wouldn't know. But for amigurumi, I've loved this yarn. So I used that yarn, and I thought it was a brilliant color for a bear wearing this little sweater vest. Now, if you recognize the sweater vest, it's sort of a variation of the vest that I made for my reindeer that I designed for Crochet Now for the end of the year. But this is a different sort of pattern, and I was thinking that I might write up the pattern for this vest and put it as a free add-on on my blog. So anyone who bought Sammy the Swim Time Bear pattern, you can download this vest pattern, and it will fit Sammy the Swim Time bee, so that you can switch him up for like a winter bee, make him a little Christmas sweater. But anyway, this yarn, I thought, let me see how it works up in a little wearable. And you can just see this green is absolutely beautiful. Loved it. So this is Sammy the Swim Time bear in his little, I don't know, autumny, wintry camo outfit. Really, really liked working this green yarn with this brown for the bear. Fantastic. I loved it. So that was my entry for the Wonderland Walk Along, Make Along, hosted by Ali at Little Drops of Wonderful. Next, while we are now busy with Sammy the Swim Time bee, as I mentioned, he is finally out on Etsy and Ravelry. I posted him on yesterday, Saturday the 20th of June, and he is currently, so the pattern is on sale at 50% off for the next week. Now, many of you lovely folks have already purchased the pattern. I'm so grateful for it. You know, every time I see that a pattern was purchased, it just warms my heart. I love it. So just to let you know, he's available on Ravelry and Etsy, and I will put both links down below. Now, you guys, on a bit of a different note, no, it's the same note but a different note, if you get my meaning. I had a few people test my pattern. Now, I don't put out tester calls. It gets me very stressed if I put out a tester call. So for every pattern, I just randomly ask different people to test the pattern for me. And one of the people who tested for me this time, now all of the makes that I got for this round, same as with my mouse pattern, absolutely fantastic. I loved seeing how the tester makes came out. Loved it. I love anytime anyone actually makes any of my patterns. I absolutely love it. But one of you lovely folks, and this is my friend Crystal over in Canada, she's also known as Sofa Spud, she just went above and beyond, and she posted the most brilliant story or description of a post that I have ever seen. Now, if you're on Instagram, you have got to head over to Crystal's page and just read the descriptions she has for all of her makes. I think this is how I sort of got to know Crystal. I mean, I'm looking forward to every time she posts something. She has fantastic descriptions. Now, many of you I know are not on Instagram, so you will not know what I'm talking about. So I'm actually going to read the description of Crystal's post to you, because it was something that I just enjoyed it so much. Now, this was Crystal's bear. Now, sorry for me now showing you on my phone. So this was the bear, and there's a few pictures that's linked to the story, and I will show you when we get to it. So this was Crystal's bear. This is the description that she put when she posted this photo. Sammy is a 20-something hip and trendy Alberta black bear. He was spotted by a rep while shopping in a local home hardware. He goes there for the free popcorn and the cute cashiers, and was promptly awarded a modeling contract from Barely There Swimwear. Sammy was then whisked away to the cliffs of Copenhagen, mourned clean by the locals. He was primed and pampered and preened while he posed in the adorable pool pants and froggy floaty the brand needed for their photos. A lovely South African family living in Denmark lodged him at their Honey and Berries Bear and Breakfast, and quickly became enamored with his tales of forest fires, friendly folks, and fries covered in cheese curds and gravy. Sammy wanted to stay longer, but unfortunately, on the final day of his photo shoot, he took it upon himself to practice poses in an attempt to get Play Bear magazine to hire on him. What was he thinking? Thankfully, Barely There Swimwear was able to censor photo number 4 and managed to convince him to put his swim trunks back on for a far more chaste photo number 5 before sending him back home on the next plane. Sammy used his poolside paycheck to invest in a couple more swim ring floaties, and dreams of being a play bear centerfold that could have been and almost was. Now, photo number 4 is this one. I mean, I had such a laugh when I saw this photo. And then photo number 5 is just him with his swim trunks back on. You guys, I mean, all of you are just fantastic. Crystal, thank you for making my day with this post. As I say, it makes my day anytime someone tags me in a make that they have made from one of my patterns. I love it. It is just, you cannot imagine the amount of joy it brings me. And then when I read descriptions like this, it is just like the cherry on top. So fantastic, fantastic job. I thought I'd share this with you guys. It was such a brilliant description for a photo. I've never read anything like it, and I was just super, super excited. Anyway, that was the story behind Sammy the Swim Time Bear. Still on Sammy the Swim Time Bear, I decided, you know, while I was now making this cute one, I wanted to try him in an acrylic. I wanted to see if it would work up nicely in a variegated yarn. What I like about this bear, the legs, the body, the head, it's all one piece. So there's no separate head that you have to sew on afterwards, which is always the perfect type of pattern for a variegated yarn. And this is my variegated Sammy. Now, she is a girl, so she is probably Samantha. But this yarn is beautiful. It is an acrylic. I will show you what I use now, but I really actually like how she turned out as just a bear. Same, this is that exact same little sweater vest that I made, that I just showed you before in the green. So as I mentioned, I think I'm going to write this up and give it as an optional free extra on my blog for anyone who's purchased the pattern, that it can fit your bear. But what I used, and this was yarn that I received in a fairly recent Crochet Society box. It's King Gold Cherish Baby Double Knitting. It was this. So we got like 1 variegated yarn and then I think 3 or 4 solid colors. This is so, so soft. I see why it's called a baby yarn. Really, really nice to work with. I used I think on this one, I used a 3mm, and then with it, this was one of the other yarns that came actually in the box, and this was just one of the solids. Baby DK, 50 grams. It is now a DK. What can I say? Premium acrylic, really, really gorgeous yarns to work with. I really, really enjoyed it a lot. So that was my bears, and you would think that after making 4 Sammy the Swim Time bears for my pattern that I would be over it and done with him. No, 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 friends. I spent this week making these 2. So I just love this pattern so much. It works up quickly. There is some sewing. Look, I'm never going to be one of those no-sew gals. I do like some sewing. I find it relaxing. But I hope that all of you who bought the pattern, that you will tag me if you do photos on Instagram. You can email me your photos. I love seeing it. I love getting your emails. I love seeing your makes. So don't ever feel like I don't have time to read it. I mean, with the Amigurumi World Tour that's been going on, I've gotten to know so many of you through the emails that you're sending me. You know, and you always chat a bit, tell me about the weather, what the weather's like, where you're from, or something that you've been doing. Or I like seeing the views. You know, many of you are taking very cute outdoor pictures. I really love seeing like the views from your apartments or your houses or your area. It's been brilliant. Keep it up. But before I get to the Amigurumi World Tour, which is on this side of me, just down here, few more things. My friend Julie over at Kay's Mom Crochets, recently she had a video where she showed a few pictures that her lovely daughter Caitlin has drawn for her. Now Julia's gotten into colouring. I also like colouring, and after seeing Julie's video about her colouring books and the pages that she's done, I actually bought a colouring book as well. I bought this massive 120 colouring pencils, pack. My son asked when I showed him the pencils, he said, what on earth are you going to do with 20 greens? And I'm like, I don't know, but if any picture calls for any type of green, I want to have that green at hand. So I bought like this massive stack of pencils. I had coloring pencils, but like just a boring old 24 set. Now I've got 120 colors, so I've been enjoying that pencil set. But anyway, I'm drifting off into a different direction now again. When I was watching Julie's video and she was showing that her daughter had drawn pictures of some of her recent amigurumi makes, and I loved it. Just during that week, my friend Caroline from For the Love of Crochet, we were chatting, and she said, I should actually have a coloring page at the end of all of my patterns. Now, I'm not a good enough, I can't draw well enough to add a coloring page. My kids, although they are very artistic, they've each got their own sort of thing that they're busy with. Jessica is very much into like faces, humans. She doesn't really do a lot of animal drawings. Jaden, he's into the more cartoony style, so they were just not interested. And I left a comment on Julie's video and I said, please, can you ask your daughter to do a drawing for me of Sunny the sorbet bear? I'm telling you guys, it wasn't 2 days later when I got an email from Julie, and her daughter had actually drawn me 2 different pictures, one with just the bear, one with my bear with a background. I printed one out, I colored it straight away. It's hanging at my desk area, and I wanted to show you the beautiful, beautiful drawing that Caitlin did for me. I've actually laminated it because I just enjoyed it so much. So this is my very elementary coloring skills. This is when I still only had 24 coloring pencils. So I mean, if you do not see a vast array of colors, it is because I was limited by only 24 pencils. If I was to do this girl again with like 120 colors to choose from, just picture it in your mind how magnificent she would look. But anyway, isn't that fantastic? I mean, it is so well drawn. Oh, I absolutely loved it. I still want to color in the version with where she did like a beach background. Jessica is actually busy coloring that version in for me. But it's fantastic. I just love it so much. Caitlin, thank you for this fantastic drawing. I love it. So I actually like the idea of having like a coloring page at the end of a pattern where you can decide your own colors that you want to do for the specific project that you are making. All right, what's next? I told you guys there's a ton of stuff I have to chat to you about. Okay, so the next thing I want to chat to you about is a little poll I posted on my community tab on YouTube, where I got like 4 different pictures. I found them on Pinterest. So I like going into Pinterest and typing in like something like cute animal illustrations, and I often get very nice ideas of patterns that I want to design based on those drawings. So I posted a bear and a puppy and a mouse and a cute little cat that's like on a piece of bread with a egg blanket. Posted the 4 pictures and I said, please, which one of these would you like to see in an amigurumi form? And you guys know me too well. Now, I don't know if it would have made a difference if I had put the bear like further down. He was like the first one on top of the poll. I should have maybe put him further down. It didn't even occur to me in what order to put them. I just clicked on it as it was saved on my phone. But you guys selected the very cute Beekeeper bear, and I will pop a picture of what that image looked like. All right, so by a vast majority of the votes, the Beekeeper bear was chosen as the project you guys wanted to see, and this is what I ended up with. So I have posted him on Instagram as well as on my YouTube community tab, but he was so fun to make. So, you know, in one of the comments when I put the poll out, someone wrote and said, yes, they like the bear, but I must try and make the face the same way to get like that cute little expression the bear had in the picture. So I thought, okay, I'm going to try, you know, he has this little confused look, which I did struggle with. His eyes do sort of look inward because he's looking at the bee sitting on top of his nose. And can you believe that I had these little bee buttons or charms? I don't know what they are, little wooden bee things. So I did try and embroider the eyes to sort of look, you know, a little cross-eyed, I guess. And for the first time I used colored yarn. I normally make the embroidered eyes using only black and white. This time, based on the photo, I did add a little bit of green, and I actually like how it turned out. I did make his mouth just a little to the side, just like it was in the photo. I gave him a little honey pot. I made him his little sun hat or whatever hat it is that he was wearing. He's got his bee overalls on, but I don't, although I wrote the pattern up for the bear, I don't think he's going to be a pattern that I will actually go to the trouble of writing up yet. I need to remake him. My biggest problem, I can't show you because I sewed his pants on. Actually, the pants are loose, but I did sew on the strap, so I can't actually take it off him. I made his little body separate because in the photo he's got this potato shaped body, so I thought that was an easy enough shape to make. So I did it like that, although I think I could have given him a little bit of a bigger belly. So I made the potato shape, then I made his legs separately and sewed it on, which looked very odd. So luckily it's hidden by the pants. But I made his legs too short. So, you know, you can't really see the shape of his foot. You can't really, there's just not enough space. So I need to make his legs longer, and I need to make my favorite style, which is having the feet and the legs go straight into the body, so not separate pieces you sew on. I think that part just didn't work for me. I wanted to try something different and I didn't like it. But anyway, the rest of it was fairly easy. I mean, he's got a fairly big muzzle, fairly regular shaped ears, the hat was really easy to do, regular shaped arms. So it's just, I think, the bottom part. So I need to design him where his legs and his body is one piece, and I need to do the shaping that his belly is a little bigger. But apart from that, I really enjoyed making him. He was really, really fun. So I think this specific shape I will not put into a pattern. I need to redesign him and make him a bit easier to do. But I really liked him. You guys, you know me obviously really well. I'm not hiding the fact that I love making bears. You guys have obviously picked up on my very subtle comments about loving bears. Anyway, so this was this guy in between all of the crazy crocheting that I've been doing this week. Then the last thing, I know this video has been going on forever. The last thing has to be obviously Whimsical Stitches, our Amigurumi World Tour. Things have been speeding up during this week. We've had quite a few projects chosen. The last few projects was this one, the sunflower. Now, just to mention, when in the book that I'm sending around, I actually split some of the patterns. So in this case, I did make the sunflower and the daisy separate options. So separate people. One person can choose the sunflower, which was chosen now by Cheryl over at Curly Moose Crochets. And then someone else can choose the daisy. So if you submit your patterns, so I've received one daisy pattern, which I've put in the book because it's going to come up and it sort of is linked to the flower. But for now, only the sunflower pattern is available. So we've got the sunflower, and I did make a sunflower. Now this one did take a while to make, I will not lie. I love how it turned out. I didn't do the little pot. I did it as just a single little flower. I've got some very cute tissue paper, so I used a little bit of tissue paper. I've got this I don't know what you call this type of thing. It's like a ribbony thing that I have in my drawers. So I just made this as a little single flower that you can give someone. Just made a little ribbon. I think this is a very cute gift. Look, it's something that's going to take you some time. I will not lie, it's not a quick make. But I loved it, and I didn't put a face on this one. But I really, really love it. So I probably will make more, just so that I can wrap it again like this and give as gifts. Because I really like how it turned out. But even the little potted version, and we've got a few sunflowers in our journal already. You can go and have a look at it. And I hope we're getting a few more sunflowers. It's a beautiful, beautiful pattern. I also am looking forward to when we do the daisy. The daisy is also, sunflower is my absolute favorite flower. But I do love daisies. I think they're very, very happy flowers. And of course, you don't have to stick to the daisy colors, as with any of the patterns. If you want to make like the duck, we've had people that make the duck in different colors. You don't have to do the exact colors as it is in the book. For the most part, I probably will. Here and there, I will veer away from the colors in the book. I'll just do a little something else just to keep it fresh. But you don't have to stick to the colors in the book if you don't want to. Okay, then we also have another project that was picked recently, is the turtle. This one, super cute. I also did make the turtle. I did enjoy him. He has a lot of sewing. But this was my turtle. So for all of these, all of the patterns in this Whimsical Stitches book, I'm using Rainbow Cotton 8/6 or Friends Cotton 8/6, which is it's a sport weight yarn, and I use a 2.5mm hook. So I did try the embroidery on his back. I did a dismal job, but I did try and embroider the little pattern. His little face is so cute. So a lot of pieces, a lot of things you sew on separately. The feet, this bottom piece, the head. But still, this one didn't take me long to do compared. I mean, if I compare him to the sunflower, he did not take long to do. Very cute. And then the last pattern that was selected most recently was the cupcake. So originally I thought I was not going to make the cupcake, and then this morning, so today is the 21st of July, this morning I actually did decide to make it, and I will tell you why. So this is my little cupcake. I don't put any faces on my the food. Also, I don't think on any of the plants I'll put any faces, but you will see there is a little candle on top. And the reason I decided to make this one and stick a candle on top, because it is the birthday of my crochet bestie, Caroline. So Caroline, I hope you are having a fantastic day. It is a blessing to have you in our crochet community and in our lives. So this little cupcake is dedicated to you on your birthday. All right, friends, is this now it? Have I now covered everything? All right, keep an eye on our journal. I've received a few photos last night that I put on this morning. Some first time entries into the journal that I'm super excited about. I love it. The more countries and states and provinces and, you know, towns that we get into the journal, the better. I want to see how many places can we cover within our journal. So every time I get a new person submitting for the first time, it's super exciting. So probably by tonight I will upload the journal as it is at the moment. I know the parcel in the US, which was the cupcake, was that last choice. The next person to receive it is my friend Caroline over at For the Love of Crochet, so it should be with her sometime in the coming week. Also, I think our parcel that's still in Europe, it's heading over to Norway, which should also be in Norway this week. From Norway, it goes to a different person in Denmark. Then we're leaving the mainland, you know, we're leaving the EU and we'll be heading into the UK. So I'm excited for that part. It's been a fun ride within the EU. So the next international book destination, Norway, and our next US destination is Caroline in California. I think Caroline might be the last person within California before we head to a new state, which will be Texas. So we've got quite a few Texans on the list. So then the book will spend some time in Texas after it leaves. I don't know if Caroline or if there's one more person in California, but keep an eye out for my posts. As soon as I hear what the next project is, I post it almost straight away onto my community tab here on YouTube, just to keep you all up to date. I also post on Instagram. And then, of course, every week I will update you where the book is. So please, the projects are remaining open. So there's no late submission. So if you still want to submit a whale, which was our first project, please, you're more than welcome to submit any of the projects that we've done so far. I will put a list of all the projects down in my description, because if I'm going to try and remember it now, I probably will leave something out. But you can also check our journal to see where we are at the moment, what's the projects that's going on, and please keep on sending me your photos. I love receiving your emails, and I love getting to know each of you a bit better. Like with every email I receive, I like the conversations going on. I like hearing about your areas, your weather, what you're busy with. Like a few of you pop in extra photos of projects you've also been busy with. I love it. Keep on doing it. I love getting your emails. All right, friends, that is it. I think I've covered everything. It's a massively, massively long video. I do apologize. You're probably on your third coffee or tea by now. I think I'm going to have to make some tea after this, because I never bring anything to drink when I do my videos. Like, I sit down, I talk until I'm done talking, I turn the camera off, and then I go and drink something. So I hope I didn't forget anything, because also I don't make any notes beforehand. So I just fly by the seat of my pants. And as I say, when I'm done talking, that is when I turn the camera off. And I think we're at that point now. All right, friends, it's been fantastic chatting to you again. That's it. Nothing more to say. Let me know what you're busy with. Thank you to everyone who's purchased my patterns. I really do appreciate it. That's it. All right, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend so far. I hope you're ready for the week ahead. Until I see you in the next video really, really soon. As always, you guys, stay safe and stay crafty.